The HQ-29 is presented by the Chinese state as a symbol of military advancement and technological modernization, but in reality, it represents something much deeper and more calculated: the Chinese government's strategic use of military imagery and claims to support a tightly controlled narrative of strength. The deliberate vagueness surrounding the HQ-29, the lack of public documentation, and the absence of official verification reflect a pattern that goes far beyond one weapon system. It is part of a broader strategy of information manipulation, internal psychological control, and external influence. China's leadership does not operate with transparency when it comes to defense development. That is not an oversight, it is a design. This secrecy gives the government significant flexibility in shaping narratives to serve political and strategic goals. The HQ-29's supposed existence, capabilities, and deployment are never clearly laid out, yet references to its purpose and importance are made with confidence in controlled media spaces. This allows the Chinese state to present the appearance of advancement without facing the burden of proof, accountability, or independent evaluation. The claim that the HQ-29 can intercept ballistic missiles in mid-course, a highly complex and technologically demanding task, is made without technical documentation or open-source analysis that would typically accompany such a breakthrough in other countries. This absence is telling. If the system truly represented a leap in defense capability, one would expect the government to highlight its development in military journals, present testing data, or invite observation of limited trials to bolster credibility. Instead, what is seen is the strategic use of vague references and suggestive coverage that always stops short of confirmation. This method serves dual functions. Domestically, it reinforces the image of the Communist Party as competent, forward-looking, and militarily powerful. Such an image is essential for maintaining political legitimacy, particularly in the face of social tensions, economic slowdowns, or international pressure. The party often relies on displays of strength, real or imagined, to unify the population and to distract from domestic shortcomings. Presenting advanced weapon systems, even if they are not operational or fully developed, plays into this need to appear invulnerable. Internationally, these unverified claims serve a different but related purpose: to confuse, intimidate, and influence foreign audiences. By projecting an image of technological parity or superiority, China seeks to alter the strategic calculations of other nations. If other countries believe that China has a fully capable missile defense system in place, they may become more cautious or more reactive in their own planning, even if such a system is not actually functional. The uncertainty itself becomes a strategic tool. The lack of clear evidence forces others to consider the possibility, and that possibility can shape decisions in diplomacy and defense planning. This tactic of using perception as a weapon has been repeatedly employed by the Chinese state, especially in the context of military development. It is not about facts, it is about controlling what people believe the facts might be. The HQ-29 is thus not just a missile defense system, it is a calculated information weapon. It exists more in narrative than in confirmed capability. Its role is not only to intercept physical threats but to shape mental and political environments both within and outside of China. The level of state control over information in China enables this strategy to function without challenge. Dissenting voices are silenced. Unofficial opinions, expert critique, or alternative interpretations are suppressed through censorship, surveillance, and intimidation. There is no independent journalism allowed to investigate the real status of military programs. There is no public debate. Even within the military-industrial system, only a narrow group of elites have access to accurate data. This insular model ensures that the public remains reliant on state messaging, and the state has every incentive to exaggerate its strength while hiding its vulnerabilities. The danger in this model is that it produces a feedback loop. The state begins to believe its own propaganda. When military narratives are crafted for political reasons rather than operational realities, there is a risk that decision-makers begin to act on false assumptions. Over time, the line between perception and truth becomes so blurred that the system loses its ability to make clear-eyed assessments of its own capabilities and limitations. In this way, the propaganda around the HQ-29 is not just misleading, it may also be self-deceptive. Externally, this kind of narrative manipulation fosters tension and mistrust. Other countries see the lack of transparency and rightly question whether China is overstating its technological progress. This erodes credibility, damages diplomatic relationships, and contributes to instability. Strategic competitors may feel compelled to respond to threats that are more imaginary than real, leading to escalation based not on facts but on manufactured images of power. What is most important to understand is that the HQ-29 story, such as it is not about defense, not about deterrence, and not about security. It is about control. It is about controlling how the Chinese population sees their leaders, how adversaries view Chinese strength, and how global audiences interpret China's position in the world. This is narrative warfare, not military modernization. The absence of real, detailed information about the HQ-29 is not a gap, it is the design. The ambiguity is intentional. The silence is strategic. The exaggeration is politically useful. Until China allows independent observation, transparent discussion, and verifiable data around its military capabilities, especially high-profile systems like the HQ-29, all claims should be considered part of a carefully staged performance rather than evidence of functional strength. The truth is not what the state says it is. The truth is what the state refuses to let others see.